Halloween Horror Nights 2025 is creeping closer, and while some of us are counting down the days with ghoulish glee, others, like me, are just trying not to scream at the promos. Whether you're a horror junkie ready to face every haunted house, or someone who prefers to enjoy the spooky snacks from a safe distance, we've got you covered. In this episode, we're breaking down what's coming to HHN in 2025, from confirmed scares to chilling rumors, and sharing our best tips to survive and maybe even enjoy the night.
Ready for your fast pass to unforgettable adventures? Welcome to Talk Travel to Me. Featuring our Mickey Guru Travel Company expert travel advisors, this podcast will guide you in traveling with more ease, confidence, and a sprinkle of magic. Tune in for unique insights, insider info, tips, and personal travel stories that'll transform your journeys into exhilarating moments and lifelong memories. Fasten your seatbelt, grab your passport, let's embark, and let's talk travel.
Welcome to a new episode of Talk Travel to Me, and today I have two very brave souls from our Mickey Guru Travel Company team, Danielle and Lacie. They are both Halloween Horror Night fans, and so ladies, let's start with Danielle. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your Halloween Horror Nights fandom.
Hello, spooky fans. My name is Danielle. I am from Louisiana. I've been to Halloween Horror Nights only one time, but it stuck with my soul because it was amazing. I follow it every year. And I'm so excited to talk to you about how you can do this, even if you're not a super fan of haunted houses. Looking at you, Kristy. And how you can survive it, guys, because it's worth it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lacie, and I'm excited to be back on the podcast. I am a two-year guru and self-proclaimed Halloween Horror Nights fan. This will be my seventh Halloween Horror Nights this year. I've already got my tickets bought, and I'm ready to go scream.
Oh my goodness, 7. Lucky number 7.
Yeah.
And for most of you that are listening, I am Kristy. I'm the owner and founder of Mickey Guru Travel Company. I definitely spend more time down in the other area of Orlando with the not so scary party, but I'm intrigued and I'm almost committed to going with Lacie this year. She said I could kind of sandwich myself between her and her husband so I will be kept safe. I'm here as the resident scaredy cat to ask the questions, to learn more. So if you haven't done this event before, I might help you uncover the reasons that it is a must-do for you this year, or not. We'll see how it goes. All right, we're going to kick this off by talking about what we know so far, because our pals at Universal Orlando like to give us information in dribs and drabs. So we don't know everything just yet, but Danielle does know the dates that we're looking at for 2025. So lay it on us, Danielle.
Okay, guys, so the spooky season officially starts at Universal Orlando August 29th through November 2nd. That's right, it goes past Halloween. So, hey, let's do this, guys. It's going to be great.
So far, Universal has confirmed 2 of the 10 haunted houses for us. We know so far that we have a Jason universe house based off of the scary Friday the 13th movies. And we have a Fallout house based off of the post-apocalyptic video game. We know for sure there will be 10, but we don't know what they're going to be yet. So they're keeping us waiting anxiously.
Suspense.
Yes.
And I know that they always have 10, right? And they always brand new, or do they bring back the same ones every year?
They are always new to Universal Orlando. So sometimes they bring back houses that were done in Hollywood or Singapore or Japan. But they're always new to our actual area. And if they do bring back one that's been done in the past, they change it up. Like there have been multiple Friday the 13th houses, for example, but there's never been one called the Jason universe. So it's going to be a little different.
Probably encompass all of his movies.
Right.
So basically it's
so
like a
scared.
theme. Are you scared? Does that scare you, Jason?
Yes. Jason terrifies me.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He's awesome.
You may have to hold my hand on that one.
I love that they announced it on his birthday, on his official birthday.
Yes, Friday the 13th.
Which was just absolutely clever.
That was so clever. Absolutely.
So what are you guys hoping comes back? Because we only have those two right now. But what are you hoping from previous years? What themes are you looking forward or hoping that they bring back again?
I'm just really hoping they bring back all of the amazing food options. I know that sounds crazy that you're there to be scared, but half of the fun is going around and eating at these amazing food booths. It's Epcot Festival Scary Edition. So all of
Nice.
the food booths are themed according to the houses and the scare zones. So you're eating very unique things. They're very good, but they look odd sometimes. Like last year, there was a house based off of these three deranged triplets who killed their parents and went on this crazy murder spree. And it was on their birthday. So they celebrated every year on their birthday by killing another family. Um, as crazy as
What?
that sounds. But at the food booth that was themed after that haunted house, there was a birthday cake and there was chicken tenders and french fries and your birthday party food. So everything's kind of themed and it
I'm
just
over here
keeps you
going.
immersed.
Like, I don't, I'm worried about you. I feel like I know you, both of you, relatively well, but like you want to go to a party where people are celebrating getting murdered. I don't know
As long
Well,
as they don't
see,
murder me.
exactly. And what I heard, Christy, was, these sisters are bonded with a common thing, and their booth serves food that you would like to eat.
Yeah. Chicken
This is what
tenders.
I hear. Chicken tenders. You love chicken tenders.
I do. So
You just
chicken
have to
tenders and
ignore the
birthday
murder
cake.
part.
Right.
Yeah,
Is the cake like bloody? Like,
Yeah.
probably.
oh,
It had a knife sticking in the top of it.
Sweet.
oh
That's
my
But it tasted like
gosh.
birthday cake and bubble it was
Okay.
bubblegum flavored, actually. It's really
Oh,
good. Hmm.
okay.
what?
Yeah.
So in terms of the houses, which then will have food coordinating with it, what houses are we hoping for? Like, you guys mentioned something about Ghostbusters last year. I love that movie, so I feel
Oh
like I
man.
would like to see that. But what
So
other
every
theme?
year, from my experience anyway, every year that I've been going, there has been a not so scary house. It- it's a
Okay.
it's a horror theme. Beetlejuice, for example, was a house one year. So we know
Oh yeah.
Beetlejuice is more like, low key funny, scary. And then last year was the Ghostbusters house. So it was amazing. It you have those jump scares, but like the characters are not scary. So really a lot of the scares that come in are the Ghostbusters themselves that jump out and they're like, "Hey, watch that ghost." Like it's just those little jump scares like that. They're not trying to hurt you. Um, they'll just jump around and catch you off guard. So I'm anxious to see what kind of not scary house they bring this year. I don't know what movies have been out lately that would
Hmm.
lend themselves to that kind of house, but we'll see.
So Danielle, the year that you went, what were the favorite themes? Do you remember? Like, were there ones that you were like absolutely loved?
So the year we went, they did The Shining. So that was the big popular house. But my favorite was Ash versus the Evil Dead, which is a classic horror film. And it was probably the not so scary house because Ash is not scary in the slightest. He walks around with his boomstick with which is his sawed-off shotgun, and he's just killing
What?
zombies. That's just what he does. Well, I guess to someone who doesn't know, it sounds kind of crazy. But so he was my favorite house, but there was also this house, it was called The Hive, and it was a farmhouse where vampires had taken over. And you walk through a cornfield to get into the farmhouse. And then once you're in the farmhouse, I vividly remember holding my husband's, I was holding his shirt because he was afraid of me because we were in like a single file line kind of situation. And I don't know how it happened. I think about it and I still don't know how it happened. But we got separated because we went into like this room of mirrors or something and we got separated. I was like, oh my gosh, where did he go? Like I don't even and we found each other on the outside of the house, but like they they are really good at what they do, guys. Like I don't scare easy. I really don't. And I was kind of freaked out there for a second because, things are in the mirrors while you're walking through them and it was really cool. The Hive was definitely great. And then they did one about Blumhouse, which is a production company that does a bunch of different films. And The Purge was really big during that time. So there were Purge people walking through the as you go through their scare zone. They're there with their chainsaws and their mask, and it was awesome.
Okay.
This made me think about this as Danielle was talking. Most of the time, my favorite house is not an IP. It's a Universal original created house. The masterminds behind Universal Creative are amazing, and they come up with some of the coolest things to make a house about.
They
Um,
did. Yeah.
I'm kind of like Danielle as well. I don't scare super easily. Um, there was one a few years ago. It's called Welcome to Scary, and they have a running theme with the place called Scary in Indiana instead of Cary. It's called Cary, but they nicknamed it Scary because of all the crazy things that happened there. And this place comes back a lot in their original houses. But this particular house, at the end, we were done, and we had gone with a couple friends of ours, and the house was over, and I could see the outside, and I was leading the pack, and so I walked out, and a guy with a chainsaw came out of nowhere. I thought I
Oh.
was done. I was in the clear, so I just kind of like breathed, and
Do, do,
I'm
do.
done. I It was like out of body experience, but I took off running with my arms straight up in the air, like surrendering, and I was high stepping it, y'all, like knees to chest. I was getting
Nice.
it. And I turned around after I got in the clear, and I completely broke the scare actor. He was doubled over laughing. Couldn't even stay in character. I
Oh,
guess
that's
he'd never
awesome.
seen that kind of reaction before, but he got me really, really good.
So in fight or flight, your flight. Good to
Yes,
know. Yeah, there you
yes,
go.
I'm
Now you've
done. I'm
learned
out.
something. Peace out.
And the people that were with me were also back there beside him, doubled over. And it's still a rumor. I mean, not a rumor, a running joke from to this day. That was
Oh
years
my
ago.
gosh.
See,
Yeah.
I love
glorious
that.
memories. Wonderful
Right.
memories.
So from what I understand, and tell me if I'm wrong, but there are the haunted houses. So you said there are 10 of them. They'll be all spread around Universal Studios, Florida. Um,
Right.
Right.
and then we have scare zones. So what exactly is a scare zone and how is it different from a haunted house?
So it's basically so when you're the house is inside. You go inside the house, or like with that one where you go through the cornfield to get to the house. That's all part of the house. The scare zone is more of stuff on the street. Like these are events happening on the street or events happening in front of the house and stuff like that. For the purge, it was people looking around for people to purge because that's the whole point of the movie is it's that one day where everyone can murder anyone they want. And so you have to protect yourself by locking yourself up in a house and stuff like that. So you have to get away from these purge people. So they were there. There was a great house that wasn't based on anything. It was one of theirs. It was an alien saucer had crashed into a house. It was amazingly done, so detailed. So there were aliens walking all around right there. And so you had to encounter the aliens, get past them and stuff like that. And so it's a way to kind of get your adrenaline pumped up and ready for when you go into the house.
And the scare zones are often scarier than the houses, in my opinion, because you do get closer to the scare actors. They do
Very
interact
close.
with you personally, where the house is just a jump. They're going to scare whoever they can, but the scare actors will sometimes like pick you out
Yeah,
and
they'll
walk
talk
up
to
to you
you.
and talk to you, and they
Hmm.
don't touch you at all. But
Nope,
if
not
you're
allowed,
videoing
guys.
them and they notice that you're videoing them, they may like jump in your video and try to scare you on camera, that kind of stuff. We went through a scare zone last year. It's probably my favorite scare zone that they've ever done. It was right by the Jimmy Fallon in the New York area,
Mhm.
and it was a medieval torture fair. So
What?
you had your king and queen of the medieval times and all these torture devices. Um, Really neat. All of the scare actors were dressed in,
Yeah.
time appropriate costumes, and it was kind of cool actually to see like how they actually what the
What they
actual
used in the
torture
medieval times,
devices were. Yeah.
right? It's
It's
fascinating. Like,
educational, very
oh my
educational.
gosh, like this is a history class.
Yeah.
See? Yeah,
Uh,
just on
I
how you look at it. Just how you look at it.
I have to say I don't watch scary movies either. So like I'm aware of like Friday the 13th just because you know living in the world, but like I don't watch. I saw one Nightmare on Elm Street when I was in junior high and I still think about it. It's the one where he had like the veins pulled out of his um
That's
skin and
that's a
like
good
on
one
top of
to
a
watch.
yeah, I don't know what that was, but I wasn't supposed to watch it. and I did.
Traumatized.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it still sticks with me. So I know that we've got the so haunted house scare zones. Do they do any of the live shows during the Halloween Horror Nights? Because Universal has great live shows. Do they do those?
Yes.
They
They have a
do.
great show. It's called Nightmare Fuel. And all the years that I've been going, they've done some variation of Nightmare Fuel. It'll be um Nightmare Fuel, the Eternal or whatever. Like it has a different name each year, but it's back in the old Fear Factor Stadium. And
Hmm.
it's a pyrotechnic, lights, acrobatic kind of freak show, like where they put fire in their mouths and very, very cool, really intricate dancing and up on the trapezes and kind of provocative a little bit. But a lot of fun, really neat show.
Sounds like a
And
Cirque du Soleil show.
similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they haven't done it in a couple of years. And I don't know why, but they used to transform the Lagoon show that they do on the regular basis at
Hmm.
Universal into a Halloween Horror Nights Lagoon show. So same concept where they had the water and the lights and the fireworks and music and all that, but it was just horror movies instead of Jaws and Harry Potter and things like that that they have on the regular. But that hasn't been around in a while. Anxious to see if they bring that back this year. Hopefully they will.
All right, ladies, now I want to talk about something that we don't do a whole lot as travel agents, which is indulge in the rumors and speculations around events. Normally, people come to us looking for facts and actual things that we can promise that are really true, but let's just play a game because I know that even just being on the outside of this Halloween Horror Night culture, that there are tons of rumors that fly around until Universal actually comes out and says what's happening. So, what are the ones that you're excited about or ones that you've heard? Lay it on us.
I'm super excited that there's a rumor that The Last of Us is going to come make another appearance. Like she said, they don't like to do duplicate houses, so they'd have to do it kind of update it for the new season. Those who don't know, Last of Us is a video game that turned into a TV show, kind of like Fallout. But the creatures in Last of Us, it's a zombie kind of apocalypse situation, but they evolve and they change and they're just really unique. So it'd be really cool to see that house come back, and I bet the scare zone in that area would be incredible.
That house was terrifying a couple of years
See?
ago. Yeah, it really was. Those big mushroom creatures. I don't know what they're called.
Exact. Oh,
They make
those
that
are the
little clicking
clickers.
noise.
It's the clickers.
Terrifying
Yeah,
because they're around.
they're there.
Yeah. So one rumor that I've heard that sounds kind of interesting is that the HHN icon this year is going to be named the Killustrator. And he is a twisted, violent artist who brings nightmares to life through his grotesque illustrations. So, for those of you who don't know,
What?
every year HHN has an icon. These icons are Universal created original concepts. And so you never know what they're going to be or how it's all going to tie together. But if you listen to the HHN Lure, they have a podcast called, they should call the Universal Podcast. But if you listen to that, you will learn the lure behind all of the icons and kind of how each house and each scare zone, not house, the houses don't really connect, the scare zones connect. There's normally some kind of theme with all of the scare zones. And so I'm anxious to see if the Killustrator is a real icon. They say he came from HHN Singapore as an icon last year. So I'm anxious to meet him and see what kind of grotesque horror he's going to bring into all of the scare zones this year, if that's factual.
So is he gonna like paint what he sees during the night kind of situation? Like those people who have artists at their weddings painting the day kind of situation,
Right?
but the Halloween
Maybe.
horror version? That sounds
It
amazing.
does. And like you walk by and
Ooh.
you think it's just a still painting and then it jumps out at you.
Oh
It's
gosh,
kind of what
yes.
I've envisioned, but I don't
Yes.
know. Yeah, we'll see.
Ooh, I like that.
I I'm terrified by that. I keep thinking like, could we have like Gabby's Playhouse? But then I realized that would be like you wouldn't
You
want to
can,
do
but not
that.
in the way you want.
Right.
Right. You don't want to scar the children.
No.
I'm also anxious to see if the Megan horde continues to roam. So if you don't know, Blumhouse also created the Megan movies, and the Megan 2.0 has recently come out. And last year at HHN, there was a Megan horde. So there were like probably 7 Megans, and they would come out just randomly throughout the night. There was no schedule. So we only caught them once. We kept like stalking Mel's Diner to see if we could catch the Megan horde because the music would change, and you kind of knew they were coming out, but only saw them once. But very cool. They do this little dance number, and it's synchronized and pretty neat. But they are actually roaming right now during the day at Universal Studios,
My God.
just on
Wait,
the studio side.
in June? Like they're
Yes.
just wandering around?
Yes, daily
Yeah,
Oh,
promoting the
that's a
new movie.
teaser. That's
Yeah.
definitely a teaser. They're gonna be
Yeah.
there. Oh,
So
how
I feel like they
clever.
are, and I feel like they're gonna up their dance moves and their whole set piece.
is there anything in the rumor mill that you think is really likely to happen? Like I know that they've only dropped a couple houses, but like what do we feel pretty confident about?
I've been hearing a rumor of a Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street house, just because of the connection with the Freddy versus Jason, situation that was done several years ago, that Freddy will have his own house. He's never, I don't think, had his own house at
I've never seen him
HHN.
have a house.
So, and another prediction I have is that there will be a classic monsters house. Every year that I've been,
Yes.
there's always been a classic monsters house. And
Oh
I'm really holding out for Creature from the Black Lagoon because he's never had a house.
He's so
So,
fun.
yeah. Or the Invisible Man. That could be neat.
Ooh. He's really big in Epic right now though, so it might be the
Yeah,
the lagoon to kind of get
maybe.
people.
I know I've seen almost all the other monsters, but I haven't seen those two. So,
Nice.
I feel like there could be because of that epic connection, because this only happens in Universal Studios, Florida.
right,
I could imagine that they might do the Invisible Man because he's over there and people are, at least on social media, loving that.
right.
And I know
Yeah.
when we saw him, I had no idea what he was. Lacey was like, "That's the Invisible Man." I'm like, he's not invisible." She's
That's
like,
because he has bandages on,
right. She's like, "Well, because
right?
you, well, if okay, well, that's the Invisible Man then." It's just like nobody over there. I was like, "Oh, I guess that's the point, right?"
Okay, I
All
will
right.
I will tell you one that I know because we talked to our Universal person and she said, right now it's not happening. I cannot wait for the day they announce that this is going to happen in Dark Universe. I want to see a Halloween Horror Nights in Dark Universe. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Like in no way is that this year,
Yes.
but I think that would be incredible.
They
Just
would even have to
incredible.
set the scene like it's already set.
So many monsters could
Yeah.
be included.
And Dark Universe at
Oh,
night is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially with
it
the
would
Blade
make the
Tavern.
perfect
yes.
stage.
Oh,
Yes.
so wonderful.
Mm. And now we're going to talk about practical and maybe hilarious advice. But the first thing I want to ask you guys is how to navigate HHN as a diehard fan, like Lacey. I mean, 7 times. I think that we could categorize you as a diehard fan and a total scary cat. I can't, I have trouble with that word. And a total scaredy cat in the same party. Like, what does that look like? How do you navigate this experience?
Wow. So if I were a scaredy cat, here's what I would do. I would either have the RIP tour, which
Mhm.
is not a behind the scenes tour, but it's a tour where you are guided by a tour guide and you get to skip the lines as you're outside of the houses before you enter. The guide is giving you the backstory of the house. They're filling you in on everything. That in itself is really cool because if you don't have the RIP tour, you have to do that research on your own. You have to listen
Mm.
to the Discover Universal podcast and kind of figure out the lore of each house. Um, so that as a scaredy cat would help you kind of zoom through and keep your anxiety, I guess, down to a minimum because you even bypass all of the express pass people. So I mean, you're going straight through, no waiting whatsoever. Also, as a scaredy cat, since in my opinion, the scare zones can be more terrifying than the houses themselves, don't walk directly through the scare zones. If you're standing back and you're looking in because you can see the whole scare zone for the most part because they're down the streets. So stand back, look down the street. If that looks like it's going to terrify you, don't walk directly through it.
Yeah.
You have to go through it kind of to get to the houses, but you can go on the sidewalk. Stay as close to the buildings as you can. The scare actors are not going to chase you on the sidewalks. If they see that you're scared and that you're trying to avoid them intentionally that way, they will leave you alone. Now, if you
I was
come
going to
down the
say
middle of
that
the
too.
street scared, they're coming after you.
Exactly.
But if you're on the sidewalk, they take that as a hint that, hey, let me back off from her a little bit. So as a scaredy cat, that's a great tip to have. Just stay away from them as much as you can, and go with a group. If you're scared, don't walk in there by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh
You
gosh,
don't
no.
have, there's safety in numbers, right? So make sure that you're there with friends, and that you all are kind of encouraging each other and taking turns walking in first. That's something that the group that I went with the first time, that's what we did. We were like, okay, I'll lead this house. And so, because the person who's leading is more than likely going to get, more of the scares than the ones behind them. They're going to get the direct scares. So take turns doing that. Don't make one person do it the whole time. Just kind of alternate.
So our local amusement park in New Hampshire, they do a Halloween scary thing like all fall long. And they sell like a lanyard that basically says like leave me alone. Does Universal have something like that, or is it just no, you guys are shaking your head at me.
They do not.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
But
No.
she's right. The actors are really good, especially in the scare zones. If you look like they can see, they know the difference. If you're actively staying out of their way or trying to just kind of go around the scare zone the best way you can, they're they might do like one little chainsaw noise and then that's it, and you can go. Like they're not going to chase you. They're not there to scar you for life. They're just
Right.
there to give you like that fun little adrenaline rush scare. And but if they know that's not your jive, you're good. Go ahead, go.
I feel like
Maybe
I
next year
might.
you could walk in the middle.
I
Yeah.
know that they don't let you wear costumes, which is different than down the street. Like down the street, it's all about like wearing costumes and group things. But I
Right.
think if I go, if because now you guys are scaring me more than I was before I started this, I might have a t-shirt made that says "Please leave me alone." Like, and then that would be my costume to just like don't bother me.
Mm, you
Or
better
just
still stay
first
away
time
from them.
scaredy cat. Like first time scared.
Yeah,
Please leave me alone.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm here under duress. I'm only here because it's part of my job. Like that
I'm here
that
for
might
work.
be. Yeah, I'm
I'm here
working.
for the
Please leave me
social
alone.
content.
This is
Yeah,
a work trip.
right, exactly. Ooh.
Speaking of costumes, although you're not allowed to wear full costumes like you can over at the other park, you are allowed to kind of bound. So last year I wore Beetlejuice. I had a Beetlejuice shirt that said it's showtime. I couldn't remember it at first.
Uh-huh.
It said it's
Nice.
showtime. It had a picture of Beetlejuice on it. It was really cute. And I had a black and white striped skirt, like a
Oh,
short
nice.
skirt that I wore. So I was like, I kind of bounded as Beetlejuice, if that makes sense. And a lot of people
Mhm.
I saw dressing Ghostbusters because that was a house. So you'll see people kind of dress according to what's there that year. But then others will have on just a shirt that has like blood spatters on it, or, fishnet. Everybody kind of gets goth in a way. So there'd be a lot of black and
It's
shoes that look
spooky
really
season. Everyone's goth.
uncomfortable. I just don't know how they
Oh
walk in
yeah.
those combat boots. I'm like, you're going to have blisters on your feet
So
Right.
for
many.
sure. Mhm.
All right. Well, and
Absolutely no mask though. No
No
mask.
mask, no face
No
paint, no
mask.
mask.
yeah, and well, because people need to know who works there and who does not, right? Like you
Right,
don't want people coming in and yeah, that would be I think totally way too scary because you
right.
don't want some just weirdo showing up with their own chainsaw. Like
No.
that's not what we want. Mm-mm. Um, I want to go back a little bit to the RIP tour because I have a client, hi Kelsey, who loves to do Halloween Horror Nights, and she gets the RIP tour every year because it does give you that exclusive access. The being able to have the things explained, I think really makes sense to me as someone who's chicken. So I appreciate that suggestion. And I will be looking at the prices for the dates that you're going that I might be going to. But I noticed that on the Universal website, it said that this year it starts at 389.99 per person plus tax. But when
Mhm.
I looked, the least expensive actually is $400, but most is $490. Um,
And
so
that's in
I'm sorry.
addition to your admission,
Right.
to your
Exactly.
So,
HHN ticket.
and per person.
Right.
So that's something to think about, but it does include like valet parking, the walking tour with the guide, and then you also get a pre-tour reception with light appetizers, that sort of thing. I also love that on the website it says it also includes access to exclusive cash bar locations. So that means they're going to allow you to buy a drink, not cover the drink, but I was like, oh, Universal. But I do think that having been at events with people who like to drink adult beverages, that if you made it an open bar, people would be on the ground and that would be dangerous for everybody. So I
Yes. And
kind
a lot of people do like to get crazy at Halloween Horror Nights. I will plug that in. I've seen more than one person escorted out in handcuffs. So if you
of,
get crazy and you start like trying to fight with the scare actors and things like that because you had a few too many drinks, they will dismiss you and you will never be able to come back. So,
so that is something I'm actually afraid of. And not because, I mean, I've never been arrested in my life. I don't go around hitting people. But when I get scared, I can definitely jump. Like, I'm afraid I'd punch some scare actor who was literally just doing their job. Like, does that happen?
it does happen.
I would absolutely
Yeah.
believe that happens.
A friend of mine one time actually, she did exactly what you just did. Like she just threw her hands up
Mhm.
and her hand went into the scare actor's mouth because he, came at her with his mouth open. And she snatched her hand back and she was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And he just kind of like shook his head and went on about his business. She didn't, they know the difference if you draw your fist back and punch them versus you startled me.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's a lot of leeway. There are also team members strategically placed throughout the houses that are watching for things like that. And also video cameras all over the houses. So when you are in line, you're about to enter the house, you'll see a screen, a huge monitor that has, 10 or 12 different video cameras on it. And that way, if a scare actor does report that you hit them, they can go back and check that to see if it was a reflex or intentional.
Good. I like that. I
Yeah.
don't mind being on camera, especially if that means that we're all safer because of people's behavior can get ridiculous
Yes.
sometimes, for sure.
It's true.
So let's talk strategies because the one thing I know as a travel advisor is that these events, lots of them sell out. Like they're usually like by the time we hit the start of them, most nights are sold out. So
Yeah.
what are we talking about as far as what do we need? Do we need more than one night? Do we express passes? Like Danielle, tell me what do you think? Like what's some basic level things that we would want to consider going into that other than the RIP tour, which we know we would definitely recommend, but it might not be in everybody's budget.
So I'm torn because it depends on the needs of the client. But for me, I think Express Pass is an absolute must for this event. There are 10 haunted houses. That means there's 10 queues that you're going to have to get through. So Express Pass will help you get through that so much faster, especially if you want to hit all of them. Um, because when I went, I was only able to hit like half because the lines were just crazy. There was no way I was getting into some of those houses.
Mhm.
And as a travel agent, I definitely recommend doing this unless you're dedicated to Rope Drop Universal and do it until 2 in the morning. Do this on your off day. This is your off day ticket. Go in because there's some rides still open. There's things like that. The only caveat to that is the Halloween Horror Nights ticket is not a park to park ticket, so you won't be able to go to Islands of Adventure. You have to stay in Universal Studios. But pace yourself, take breaks. Um, but Express Pass all day long, guys. You're gonna need it.
Yes. The very first year I went, I was kind of like Danielle, and I think we saw 6 of the 10 houses. because when you stand still on concrete for that long in those queues, your whole body hurts. Like, I
Hmm.
don't care how young you are, how good your shoes are, when you are standing still for that many hours, it's just killer. I've never gone without Express since. We've had Express every year since then. And we only do one night. If you don't have Express, you need more than one.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you want to see everything and experience the whole event, you have to have more than one night. Because Express, although a lot cheaper than something like an RIP tour, it's not, it's not a cheap thing. I think Express this year was 170 dollars or something like that per person. Well worth it if you only have one night, but still
But
something to consider.
sometimes the Halloween Horror Night ticket is that much anyway. So you might as well
Right.
just add on the Express Pass and knock it out in one night instead of two.
Yes.
Just depends on your
And
needs.
something that's so critical that I found is Stay and Scream. So Stay and Scream allows you to enter the park or enter the queue early. So the actual event doesn't start until 6. Stay and Scream lets you get in at 4 and go ahead and queue up in one of normally 3 Stay and Scream locations. Um, one in the front of the park or 2 in the front of the park and one in the back near the Simpsons area. But you're allowed to go ahead and get in line essentially for your first couple of houses. So wherever the houses are located that you want to go to first, the most popular ones normally are the ones you want to queue up for early. You can go and stand in line for and be one of the first people in the houses. So this allows you to strategically plan your night and go ahead, knock out 2 or 3 houses during that early hour when the other guests can't get in yet. And then at the end of the night, you can come back and do those houses again if you have Express, or you can stand in line for them, again. So it gives you the flexibility to kind of chill as well throughout the night because you're not waiting in those 3 lines. Um,
So
if
just I gotta ask this because I don't know. I know this came up for me when you were talking about that, but so I can I can pay extra for a Stay and Scream ticket add-on, and then I go and stand in line from 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock to then get into the house for the first time at 6.
Almost. So there are 2 different options. If you have a regular park day ticket, like I always have, we're always in the parks that day. We normally start our park day and leave, around lunch and go back and rest and then go back for Stay and Scream. So we'll go to Stay and Scream because it's included. I'm already in the park.
Oh, okay.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm already
Yep.
Yeah.
there. I can just go queue up. If you don't have a regular park day ticket, that's when you need to buy the Scream Early ticket that's an additional add-on.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the house still isn't going to open until 6.
Right. Honestly, normally they open about 5:45. They
Okay.
normally start opening them a little bit early, but before 6:30 or 7 o'clock, whenever all the regular guests are allowed in, you've already done 2 or 3 houses. And
Huh.
then when they all come in, they're going straight to the houses that you just did, and you can go away.
Oh,
You
I
can run
love
to the
that.
other houses.
Right. Yeah.
And I do remember that it's very obvious by the time the events actually start happening which houses people are most excited about. Like that,
Yes.
the internet is a buzz with the ones that are going to be the most popular. I definitely
Right. And the
remember
most
hearing that.
popular ones are normally located at the front of the park from like the New York Public Library facade forward down to Rip Ride Rocket. That's normally your heavy hitter houses. So most people do queue up for Stay and Scream there at the NBC Cafe, the Today Cafe. That's where we queued up last year for Stay and Scream.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm anxious to see what they're going to do with that area this year, though, with Rip Ride Rocket being under construction.
Mm.
I don't know. That's going to mess up some of the house locations, I would guess. So may see some different locations this year.
I do like the idea of arriving early because I do think that it sounds like that is, and I know that when we plan for clients, if they're doing HHN, we'll give them kind of that roadmap that you were talking about, like how to do this in the most efficient way possible, whether they have the express pass or not. So that's actually really helpful. What are we thinking about? You mentioned good shoes because you're standing for a lot of time, but what other kind of just general park tips do you still advise for those of us that are braving this event?
It's
Hydrate,
still really
hydrate,
hot.
hydrate.
Yes, very hot that time of year.
So
Lots
hot.
of hydration. The Coke freestyle machines are still working in the evenings. I'm a big advocate for those because you can walk up and get free water from any of the freestyle machines. You can walk into any of the quick service locations and take a break in the air conditioning. All of the restaurants are open. Like Danielle said earlier, most of the rides are open as well. So if you need a break and you need to cool off, like do that.
Go
Give yourself
catch
that
a
break.
ride.
Yes,
Crowds are less.
exactly. Go shoot
Yeah.
some aliens and Men in Black while
Yeah.
you're taking a
Harry
break,
Potter's
sipping your
open.
water.
Yeah. Go
Yeah.
grab some Harry Potter.
And those wait times are fantastic, by the way.
So good. So
Oh,
good.
because everybody's doing the
Yeah.
other stuff.
Right. They're really, really
Exactly.
low. So especially if you have Express and you've got time, go for it. Enjoy yourself. Make sure you're dressed comfortably because you're going to be. It's like a regular theme park day. I mean, you're walking a lot, you're standing a lot. It's hot. There are people everywhere. More people than at a regular on a regular theme park day. People
Mm.
everywhere. So make
And
sure
then
you're comfy and hydrated.
increased adrenaline and heart rate, you're going to be hotter than you're used to. Like
Yeah.
this is a fear factor kind of situation, and your heart's pumping, your blood's pumping, you're getting hotter than you're used to. So hydrate more than you're used to. Make sure you're dressed comfortably, even more so. Yeah, those clunky shoes are cute, but
Not
come on, man.
practical. Yeah.
Paint your tennis shoes black.
Paint them or buy black shoes. Yeah, I get that. So you mentioned that the restaurants were open, which is great to know because I'm guessing the scare actors don't go in there, although it sounded like maybe the
Right.
It's
Megans.
a quiet zone.
They don't go
You're
in
good.
Mel's.
Okay. So it's just they
And
come out.
Mel's, by the way, Mel's drive-in, they black out the R and the V during HHN and it becomes Mel's die-in. So
Nice.
Oh,
that's always a
Nice.
cool little
I like
picture to
that.
snap. Yeah. Not all of the restaurants are open, but the majority of them are. Your more of your sit down restaurants like Finnegan's and um Three Broom or not Three Broomsticks, Leaky Cauldron, those are not going to be open. But your quick service, your Minions Cafe, um your meals, those restaurants definitely waiting to serve you, along with all of the food booths that are scattered all over the park. So lots of food options.
so you said it's kind of like food and wine festival, but you know,
Spooky.
Yeah. I
um,
mean,
is the food, I guess you said that the cake, we talked about that a little bit at the beginning, but is it kind of like what we saw in Dark Universe where it's like here's a coffin cake and here's a
yeah,
bloody hamburger?
it
Yeah,
is. That's exactly right.
absolutely.
It's very themed. It's good, but
Yeah.
it's themed and it may not be as appealing to the eye or, it doesn't
Yeah.
look like it'll be good. But it is. Yeah. It's cool. Like Ghostbusters this year had a frozen cheesecake on a stick. So it was
Oh.
literally it was frozen, like a popsicle, cheesecake, and it was dipped in this blue mint flavored um frosting that also hardened like a hard shell. And it had crumbled up. This sounds so weird, but it had crumbled up bugles. You know what I'm talking about? The salty
Yeah.
little triangle shaped
What?
bugles. And it was
Uh-huh.
that sweet and salty situation. It was so good.
Okay.
It was so good. And they had the marshmallow man. So it was like a s'more, but it was shaped like the marshmallow man. Um, Also
Okay.
really good. So the food is it's fairly normal, for the most part, but it is highly themed.
I
So
like
that's
that. Adds a
fun.
whole nother level of just fun to it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
an exclusivity, which is what you're paying for. So
Yep.
Right.
that's cool.
There's lots of alcoholic opportunities as well. If you want to drink alcohol, there are bars located sporadically throughout with specialty themed cocktails and also canned beverages as well. There's one that's always catches my eye. It's called the Lacto Cooler. I've never had it, but it's some kind of sour beer
Oh,
that's always has like a monster on it. Um,
hmm.
The
Interesting.
theming is all out.
I feel like that's one of the things that I'd like to go for. Like that to me feels like that's a draw for me is the idea of this immersive theming, which Universal does so well. So, so
They really
Yes,
well.
do.
they do. And in addition to all of the food booths, there are so many places to sit and take a break and get away from the scary. Um, Over in the kid zone, the the old kid zone area next to ET, there's a where the pizza place is. All behind there is seating. All
Oh, okay.
beside animal actors on location, they set up tables and chairs. Um, there are multiple there's additional seating than normal at Universal. So like down the sidewalks that line the scare zones, there'll be additional benches and things like that set out for people who just want to sit and people watch and enjoy the scary but not be scared
Hmm.
themselves. That's kind of cool. In Sting Alley, um, you guys familiar with what I'm talking about? That goes across from the Mummy and cuts back through onto the
Yes.
next street. So that's always really highly themed, and it's a good place to go and sit as well. There's no scary going on in there, um, but just a cool place to sit and take a break.
It's a sit, sip, scream kind of situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I like
So
it.
I'm thinking maybe I would go and maybe not even go into the haunted house and I would just watch other people scream.
You're going into at least one house, Kristy.
I promise to hold your hand. You
It's
won't
we'll do
die.
the
You
the
won't
not
die.
so scary one, which may be Fallout because Fallout is a
Maybe,
fantastic video game, but it's not super scary.
maybe
Okay.
so. Because The
It is a
Last of Us
dog.
was not super scary. It was
Yeah,
good, but it wasn't super duper scary. So it may be similar to that
probably.
one.
One of the things that I'm definitely going to do, I hope it's this year, but even if it's not, is that they have the Horror Unmasked tour, which
Yes.
they've done. It's basically during the day they take you in a tour through, I think some, not all of the
Not
houses,
all.
right?
Right. Two different options, either a three house or a six house.
So basically, that's a way to go and see all of the details because that, like, again, Universal is so good with details and immersion
Yeah.
that uh, that for sure is something I'm interested in doing because I would love to see it all put together without the fact that someone could be jumping out at me at any point. That's the part that
Right.
scares me.
Yeah, like having the lights on and having those guides show you different things that you can't possibly see when you're being conga lined through the houses is an amazing experience because there is so much detail. So much detail. And like I mentioned earlier, there's cast members or team members strategically placed throughout the houses that are kind of pushing you forward. So if you
Hmm.
do stop and try to take in some of the detail, you're usually being told to move and
Yeah.
carry on.
Move it along.
Yeah, but the the houses also have the sense pumped in to them to amplify your experience. It kind of is, it hits all of your senses. I mean, they are
Hmm.
loud, they're visually, they're scaring you, they're not touching you, but there are like there might be some shots of air or some water, little splashes of water, that kind of stuff. And then the smells piped in. Most of the smells are not unpleasant smells.
Right.
I
You're
know
not
one
smelling
year,
death or anything.
I was like,
right.
what? Rotting bodies? Like I've
No,
read about
Well,
no.
that in books. Like,
one year, there was a house called Puppet Theater, which was really, really a super well done original house, but it smelled really good. It smelled baby powder ish. It's like just what
oh,
that theater would have smelled like, I guess. And then that was the same year as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Made my stomach turn. That was the only time I remember a bad smell in a house. And when I say it was bad, like there were people vomiting. It was bad. Yeah. So there's a slaughterhouse in the Texas
Yeah.
oh,
Chainsaw Massacre. That's the family business. So when you walk into the room where the pigs are hanging in the slaughterhouse, you, yeah, you smell it.
Uh,
And it was bad, 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 bad. So
oh
be
my
prepared
okay.
for that
gosh.
as well. The smells can be pretty horrific.
And you pay for the privilege to smell that. That's great. That's
They just want you to be like fully immersed
Immersed.
in your
Yeah.
environment. And if you were in a nasty slaughterhouse, it's not going to smell great. So, Most of them, like I said, they were pleasant. There's a house called the Pumpkin King one year, and it smelled very pumpkin-y, cinnamon,
Okay.
pumpkin pie, that kind of smell. So
That I would like. That would be
yeah,
okay.
Have your latte while you walk through.
right.
Right. And
Yeah.
then
Huh.
throw it on somebody. Yeah, that's how that would
You
go.
can't take drinks into the houses, by the way. That was a good way to plug
Yeah.
that in.
Oh,
You
And
cannot.
that's
So
why.
that's why, yeah. So as you enter the house, if you have a cup in your hand, they'll say, "Is that empty?" They always check.
You got to drink your alcoholic drink before you go in the house, guys.
Yeah,
Before you go in the house.
even your water. Can't
Yeah.
check it.
and that's a wrap on this Scream-filled episode of Talk Travel to Me. Whether you're a seasoned scare seeker or just HHN curious, we hope you're as excited as we are for what's lurking around the corner at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights in 2025. You feeling ready to face the fog yourself? We'd love to help you plan a trip that's thrilling, unforgettable, and maybe just a little terrifying. Reach out to us today and let us start crafting your perfect HHN getaway. You'll find contact information for Danielle, Lacie, and myself right in the show notes, and you'll also see us over on Instagram at Talk Travel to Me Pod, and slide into our DMs if you dare. Until next time.
See you in the
Until-
fog.
Yay! Until next time, travel safe, scream louder, and keep the magic and monsters coming.
Thanks for listening to Talk Travel to Me. We hope this episode cracked open inspiration for the treasures that await you at your next dream destination. If you love the show, please review, subscribe, and share it with a friend. At Mickey Guru Travel Company, we're your trusted guides for theme parks, cruises, resorts, and more. Visit our website at mickey guru.com to learn more and book your vacation today.